Richard Widmark was not merely a participant in Hollywood's golden age. He was one of its defining architects. A performer whose intense presence helped shape the very texture of mid-century American cinema. His journey from the quiet Midwest to the dazzling epicenter of filmmaking was anything but straightforward. A path marked by profound personal sacrifice and an unyielding dedication to his craft. Behind the iconic laugh and the steely gaze was a man of immense principle, a professional who held his work to the highest standard. This deep-seated integrity meant he had little patience for those who treated acting with anything less than complete seriousness. The industry's gossip mills often whispered about the actors who clashed with Widmark's disciplined worldview. And from those whispers, a consistent picture emerges of 5 legendary figures he reportedly could not abide. His origins in Sunrise, Minnesota and later Sioux Falls, South Dakota were humble, the son of a traveling salesman. It was his Scottish grandmother who first ignited the cinematic spark, regularly escorting him to see Tom Mix westerns, forging a lifelong bond with the mythology of the American frontier. The family's eventual settlement in Princeton, Illinois, provided a stable home above his father's bakery. And it was in high school that Widmark's leadership and intellect began to surface, qualities that would later define his on-screen persona. His initial path at Lake Forest College was toward law, but fate intervened in the form of the stage and a fellow drama student, John Hazelwood, who would become his lifelong anchor. Their move to New York launched his career in radio, a grueling apprenticeship in storytelling that honed his vocal precision and timing. His marriage to Jean in 1942 became the bedrock of his life. A partnership of remarkable longevity and loyalty in an industry notorious for its transience. The war brought personal tragedy when his younger brother Donald was shot down and imprisoned, an event that haunted Widmark and informed the gravity he could so easily access in his performances. His film debut was nothing short of seismic. Cast against type and against the wishes of director Henry Hathaway, Widmark took the role of the psychotic Tommy Udo in Kiss of Death and created one of cinema's most unforgettable villains. That maniacal laugh and the chilling act of pushing an elderly woman down a flight of stairs in her wheelchair were not just scenes. They were cultural moments that earned him an Oscar nomination and instant notoriety. Signed to a long-term contract by 20th Century Fox, he was swiftly thrust into the Hollywood machine. He demonstrated his versatility in films like Panic in the Streets with Elia Kazan, but it was his role in No Way Out that revealed his moral courage. Playing a vicious racist was abhorrent to him, but he took the part and delivered a searing performance, all the while ensuring his co-star, Sidney Poitier, felt respected on set. This gesture of inviting Poitier to dinner, a simple act of decency in a segregated town, cemented a lifelong friendship and spoke volumes about Widmark's character. He saw acting as a collaborative art, demanding mutual respect between performers. This professional philosophy made his clashes with certain colleagues inevitable. The first and perhaps most glaring was Frank Sinatra. On the set of The Detective, Widmark's methodical, prepared approach was the antithesis of Sinatra's casual, almost dismissive style. Where Widmark valued rehearsal and commitment, Sinatra was known for wanting to finish in as few takes as possible, viewing the film as an interruption to his singing career. To Widmark, this wasn't just a difference in style. It was a fundamental disrespect for the entire filmmaking process. He saw Sinatra's approach as prioritizing personal convenience over artistic integrity, a sin in his professional creed. The second figure was Marlon Brando, an actor whose talent Widmark could not help but acknowledge, yet whose process he viewed with profound skepticism. Widmark respected the results, the raw power Brando could project on screen, but he had no patience for the methodological chaos that often produced it. Brando's notorious refusal to memorize lines, his reliance on cue cards, and his unpredictable improvisations represented a kind of creative anarchy that clashed with Widmark's disciplined focus. For Widmark, greatness was achieved through meticulous preparation and control, not discovered in the midst of self-indulgent turmoil. He believed an actor's first duty was to be present and prepared for their fellow performers, a duty he felt Brando frequently ignored in pursuit of his own process. Third was Tony Curtis, a star whose dazzling looks and polished charm made him a box office draw. However, on the set of The Long Ships, Widmark perceived a vacuum where substance should have been. He saw Curtis as more concerned with his appearance in the frame than with the psychological truth of his character. While Widmark was delving into motivation and narrative function, Curtis seemed preoccupied with his lighting and angles. This focus on surface over depth. Now, on vanity over craft was anathema to Widmark. He believed that true on-screen presence came from internal conviction, not from a perfectly coiffed hairstyle. And he dismissed Curtis as an actor who traded on image rather than authentic skill. The fourth contentious relationship was with Robert Mitchum, Hollywood's ultimate laid-back rebel. Mitchum's cool, unflappable persona, often aided by a relaxed attitude toward life and his craft, was legendary. He famously claimed he just showed up, hit his mark, and said the lines. For Widmark, who treated every role with the solemnity of a military campaign, this was an unconscionable approach. He interpreted Mitchum's ease not as cool professionalism, but as a lack of dedication, a failure to give his all to the art form. Widmark believed that an actor's job was to strive for greatness in every scene, and to see someone of Mitchum's natural talent merely coasting was, in his view, a betrayal of that talent and a slight against every actor who poured their entire being into their work. Finally, there was Kirk Douglas, a clash of titans fueled by similar intensities. Both men were forces of nature on screen, but Widmark felt Douglas's intensity was often untethered from the scene itself, a performance designed to dominate rather than collaborate. Douglas's booming voice, his dramatic gestures, his sheer will to be the center of attention in every shot grated on Widmark's sense of ensemble. He believed a powerful scene was a delicate ecosystem, where each actor played their part, not a gladiatorial arena where one performer had to emerge victorious. The rumor that Widmark once refused a role by stating, "There's only room for one storm in a scene, and Kirk brings the whole hurricane," perfectly encapsulates this conflict. It was a battle of two powerful acting styles, one focused on internal control and the other on external domination. Despite these professional friction points, Widmark's career flourished for decades. He became a Western icon, playing Jim Bowie in The Alamo for John Wayne, and starring alongside greats like James Stewart. He delivered powerful performances in prestigious things like Judgment at Nuremberg and the epic How the West Was Won. After leaving Fox, he founded his own production company, seeking the creative control that matched his exacting standards. He was, at his core, a family man who cherished the quiet life with Jean and their daughter Anne, far from the Hollywood glare. His later years were marked by the profound sorrow of caring for Jean through her battle with Alzheimer's, a testament to the depth of the love that had always anchored him. He received a Lifetime Achievement Award. Presented by his old friend Sidney Poitier. A full circle moment that honoured not just his filmography, but his integrity. Richard Widmark's legacy is dual-faceted, a collection of iconic performances that defined an era of American film, and the story of a man whose unwavering professional principles made him both a respected colleague and a formidable adversary to those who failed to meet his impeccable standards.